Crystal and Olivia have as much time as they need to chit chat. I just want to go ahead and say thank you to both Crystal and Olivia for being on tonight. I am so excited to hear what you ladies have to say. So I'm just going to hand it over to y'all and let you do your thing and introduce yourselves and just dive right in.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us tonight. We are so excited to be here with you guys. I know that I knew Sierra from network marketing through Beachbody because Crystal and I actually both come from the network marketing world. So we're super familiar with Beachbody and the amazing company that it is. And it is part of our mission to really just be able to serve female entrepreneurs in this state. So I'll give you kind of a little backstory of where we come from, why we're here, why we're sharing about mindset things tonight with you guys. So we have been entrepreneurs for the last 3 years now. We come from, like I said, the network marketing world, Beachbody specifically. So we absolutely freaking love the company and everything that you guys stand for and are all about. But about 8 months ago now, we just started to have kind of this feeling in our hearts of like, okay, we're supposed to be serving entrepreneurs. We're supposed to be serving these people who are feeling so stuck and overwhelmed and burnt out. And we're supposed to help them be better business owners, better wives, better females, so that they can run a business that's able to have that ripple effect and it impact so many more people than maybe what they're working with right now because they're in that burnt out state. So, we started, I don't know if you guys remember me, I hosted a call for you guys a while back, probably like 6 months ago now, and shared all about like mindset, belief, personal development. That was always what we were leading calls on, what we were teaching our team, what we were running trainings on, free groups on. We're obsessed with that world. We're obsessed with that inner soul work that you have to do before you can run a banging business, because you have to get your life right and your soul right and your mind right and operate from that place and run your business from there to be able to move forward and be successful in whatever that means for you. So we're in that mindset, we're in that realm, and we just felt called to serve completely in that way because we were seeing so many people stuck, and we were like, if they stay stuck, but we have what we feel are the tools and the soul work that they can do to work through that like we had done, why are we holding this back from people? We were feeling selfish. So we actually separated from network marketing back in February to serve full-time in this capacity, be able to serve people at the level we feel called to. And that's why we're here tonight. Beachbody has such a special place in our hearts. So we serve you guys. We love being able to connect with this community. So thank you so much for having us tonight. Crystal, did I miss anything?
No, you did not miss anything. You nailed it. That's exactly what we do. Another thing, you guys, that we work with people on is reigniting that fire of why you fell in love with this business in the first place. So we don't only work with entrepreneurs who just feel like stuck and exhausted. That's primarily our focus. But we also work with people who are trying to discover that joy again of what it felt like when I first started and why did I feel that way. So we are going to share with you 3 mindset hacks to get back to that space of joy. But before we dive into those, I have a quick exercise that I want you to go through with me. So if you have a pen and a piece of paper with you, then I'm going to have you write 3 things down. If you don't, we will give these to Sierra and you guys can go through this a little bit later. But I want you to write down the word relationship, business, and this last one's kind of a 2-for-1, possessions/experiences. And I want to talk to you, before we get there, before you write anything down, I want to talk to you about success. Now, many of you, somewhere between childhood and adulthood, your idea of success became tainted and tethered due to someone else's opinion of what success was. For example, when I was little, I would hear people say, when you make $100,000 a year, then you're successful. When you live in a big fancy house, then you're successful. When you have the nameplate on your front office door at your job, then you're successful. Now, some of you may be in your network marketing business chasing things that you've seen other people have success in. Or maybe someone has told you that that means you're successful in your business. What happens when we do that, you guys? We get stuck. We're chasing something that ultimately doesn't matter to us, and then it feels bad because it's not aligned with our soul. And Olivia and I believe that you can do as much PD as you want. You can hire all the coaches. You can do all the business courses. But if you are not completely aligned in your life and your business, you will always hit a roadblock. So for this exercise, I want you to look down in your piece of paper, and I want you to look at that word relationships. Now strip away all the BS of what someone else told you was success in a relationship, and I want you to think about what is success to you in your relationship? Is it being able to date your husband once a week and not worry about picking up your phone? Is it being able to take each of your kids out on an outing? What do relationships look like for you in terms of success? Is it being able to get your community together where that's really, really what you want to see and what you thirst for is connection? What does that look like for you in that area? The second one, your business. And this is a tough one because we scroll Facebook and we see people achieving ranks and hitting numbers, and we think that that is what we're supposed to be going after. And if that is in your heart, right, if being a 37 million star diamond is in your heart and making $1 gazillion a year is in your heart, that's okay. There is no right or wrong answer. But what is it for you that lights your fire within your business? Is it building a platform because you believe you have a deeply rooted message that you need to share with people? Is that success to you? Are you operating in that? Or are you going after things that maybe it's really important to someone else, but it's not so important to you? What is it in your business that you deem as success? Now, I know for me, I'll just share a quick personal story with you guys. I was in Beachbody, love the company, love the community, love everything about the business. But I saw this like title, elite, and I was like, bam, everyone's telling me that that is important, so I'm going to go hit that. Guess what? I did. A year into my business, I was a top 200 elite coach. And I was supposed to feel like a success, right? But I got there and there was something in my gut that didn't feel right. And it wasn't that hitting that rank or that accolade was bad, because for some people that felt really good. But for me, it was not what I felt deep in my soul as success. So I got there and I felt empty, because to me, success in my business was having my community alongside me. And when I hit that, I didn't see them getting the recognition and the success that I thought that would come along with that. So guess what? I felt empty. So what is it in your business that you need to place more focus in and you need to go after, right? So think about that. Number 3 are possessions and experiences. What do you want out of life? Is traveling and creating freedom, is that success for you? Is it not having the big fancy apartment in a downtown area, right? But it's being able to travel whenever you want and having flexible schedules. Is that success for you? Or is it having the big fancy apartment downtown in New York, right? What does possessions and experience look like for you in the terms of success? And what we want you to do is we want you to not think about what is success in the eyes of your mom or your dad or your spouse or your brother, your sister, or your upline, but what is it to you? Because I promise you that if you start to operate in what success looks like for you, you are going to make leaps and bounds within your business. But you got to strip all the shoulds away. I should be chasing this. I should be chasing that. You got to strip all of it away. Olivia and I like to use a term, stop shoulding on yourself, right? Think about what you want and start to write that down. So take some time maybe after this call to think about those 3 areas and what success looks like for you. And now Olivia's going to jumpstart us with our first tip of our mindset hack.
All right, guys. So our very first tip is it is time to identify your limiting beliefs and kick them to the curb once and for all, because they have no place here. Every single one of you who are here tonight are serious about moving forward in your business, in your life, in your mindset, whatever it might be. Something drew you here tonight. You're here for a reason, which means your limiting beliefs no longer have a place here. So for those of you who aren't sure what limiting beliefs are, they are the BS stories we have created in our head as true, as fact, and they are literally the one thing that is holding us back from where we are now and where we want to be. It's like this brick wall that you cannot get through, and you keep hitting it, and you're wondering what the heck is going on. 9 times out of 10, it can be linked back to a limiting belief that you're holding on to that is controlling everything. It's a subconscious thing that you might not even be aware of that's stopping you from having whatever it is that your heart desires. So, for example, for me, growing up, I have the most incredible parents and I love them dearly, but my dad used to say something to me and he was joking, but I took it as true. He used to say, Olivia, everything that's going on up here doesn't have to come out of here, because I was talking all the freaking time. And I'm sure as parents, you guys probably be like, yes, kids, what goes on in your head might not have to come out of your mouth. And he used to say that. And of course he was kidding, but I grabbed onto that for everything that it was. And I dragged that all the way to adulthood with me. And when I was an entrepreneur and I was told, share your story, share your message, be vulnerable, share the things that are going on inside. And I kept hitting a wall. I couldn't share. I couldn't get deep. I couldn't even remember the things I was supposed to be sharing. Because I kept thinking in my head, it was like a broken record playing over and over again, saying, what goes on in your head doesn't have to come out of your mouth. What goes on in your head doesn't have to come out of your mouth. And I had to identify that and say, dang, like, is this true? No. This is something that I have created as fact in my head. But really, when I hold it up and say, is this true or false? It was not true. It was something I had created, which means the cool thing is I had the power to change it. So the first step in kicking these limiting beliefs, these stories that are going on in your head, maybe it was that you were told somewhere along the way that you need to have $100,000 to be successful, and you don't have $100,000 yet. So you wake up every single day saying, dang, I'm not successful and I'm broke. I'm poor. I have no money. Who am I to invest in something? I don't have any money. I can barely put groceries on the table. But the truth of the matter is, you're not poor. You're not broke. You have money. Maybe it's not a specific number that you're wanting. Maybe it's not the specific number that you're working towards, because we can always grow and we can always get to that next level. But maybe we need to reframe it saying, I have money. Money comes easily to me. I attract abundance. I am a magnet for my desires. Do you have food on the table? Do you have gas in your car? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have internet connection to hop on a call right now? You're not poor. It's what we're telling ourselves. We're playing the victim almost, and we're playing it over and over and over again in our heads. And trust me, I am totally guilty of this. I have to catch myself every single day when I say, like, dang, and I say, you know, no one wants to hear my story today. I have to correct it because that's a limiting belief that's holding me back. So first step in getting over these limiting beliefs, once you've started to kind of think of them, is identifying it, writing it down. So for me, I had to write down what goes on in my head doesn't have to come out of my mouth. And I had to look at it, and I was kind of like, oh, really? That's it? That's what I'm thinking is true right now? That's holding me back from everything that I am capable of becoming, pursuing my purpose. That's holding me back. The cool thing is you have the power to rewrite that. So now I want you on a separate sheet of paper once you have them all written down, and there's probably going to be multiple. There's not just one. There's going to be multiple. So a good way to kind of find these is you're going to invite. Maybe inviting is your frog, right? You hate it. You're like, oh, I dread inviting. That's what we hear so often. You go to invite and something's stopping you. What is stopping you? There's always time. There's always more people, but there's something that's stopping you. Maybe it's that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I haven't been in it long enough. Or what if they think this? Those are limiting beliefs, you guys. They're self-sabotaging thoughts that are literally keeping you from everything that you want over on the other side. So write them all down. There's probably going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 100. Doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. Write them down. And then I want you to rewrite them on a separate sheet of paper in a positive. So for me, I had to say, what goes on up here doesn't have to come out of here. That is not true. That's a limiting belief. My new belief that I repeat to myself in those moments where I catch myself, I correct it, and I say, my message needs to get out into this world. This was placed on my heart for a reason, and somebody needs to hear it today. If I don't show up, my ideal client might be hurting. She might be silently struggling, waiting for the light that I bring to Facebook every day. And if I don't show up, she might stay in that dark state today. It is up to me to show up and share my message with the world. It's there for a reason. And so you rewrite these in a positive affirmation per se. Maybe it's saying I'm poor or I'm broke all the time. You start saying money comes easily to me. I attract abundance. I am a magnet for my desires. Attracting new clients comes with ease and it's effortless. And I just show up every day and I am compensated for doing what I love. I am living out my passions and I am so blessed to be able to do that. Whatever it might be for you, rewrite it in a positive on a separate sheet of paper, because now I want you to take that sheet of paper with all your limiting beliefs and rip it up into a million tiny shreds where it's unrecognizable. And I want you to say thank you for what you've done for me so far, because they've protected us, right? That's your ego trying to protect itself. We say thank you for what you've done, but you have no place here. I'm moving forward. I'm taking ownership. I'm choosing right now to move forward into what's next for me, where I'm feeling called, where I'm feeling led, showing up in the way I feel called to show up, and you get rid of it. You can burn it, but I'm going to state a disclaimer. I'm not responsible for what happens. Do it safely. Or you go throw it in a dumpster somewhere, but get it out of your house, get it out of your space so that you can now focus. You created space. You can focus on these new positive affirmations, these new belief systems, these fresh, exciting, powerful, joyful, hopeful affirmations. And every time you catch yourself going into that old thought pattern, you can say, pulling it back. My message needs to be heard. I'm a magnet for my desires, whatever it might be. Catch yourself and rewrite these limiting beliefs, because I promise you, you're here tonight for a reason and you are moving forward, and you have to get those out of your head. You have to control your thoughts, because that's what's going to control what's next for you. So that's number one.
All right, tip number 2 is a 2-part tip. So the first one is allow your experience to be the expert. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Don't be shy. Just raise your hand. Have all of you done 21-day fix? Raise your hand if you've done 21-day fix. Has it ever been more like 2.5-day fix before you go grab Oreos out of your kid's hand or the lunchbox? Anybody? Is that just me when I did it? Right? Yeah. Okay. So have you ever thought in your head, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I can't even get through 21 days. Why would I be telling these people what they should be doing? If that thought has ever ran through your mind, I want you to think about this. You are a part of an incredible company, a billion-dollar company, right? They could pick anybody they want to represent their product. They could go have J-Lo hold a Shakeology cup and sell their product. They don't. They choose you. Why? Because you're a real person with real experience, and that is what connects people to be inspired to make change. When I'm looking on Facebook or Instagram and I scroll past the chick that's got a 6-pack ab and she's on a stage in a fitness competition, I think that is awesome. That chick is awesome, right? Man, she's disciplined. But that ain't me. But let me see a mom with a kid on her hip and she's down on the floor doing crunches right after carrying all 12 of her kids around. Then I'm like, I gotta work out. That inspires me. She's allowing her experience to be the expert. You guys, Beachbody has trainers and nutritionists and Darren Lean who are the experts. They do the hard work for you. All you have to do is share your experience. Olivia and I teach our clients, don't try to create anything. Don't try to sell anything. Simply document your experience. Another really quick personal story. I actually had the opportunity to be on PBC with Autumn a few times. And when I'm up there the first time, they come up, it's live, they ask you questions, and I'm like Vanna White, right? I'm like, oh, look at these containers. It's so amazing. And the producer comes to me after and he's like, hey, Crystal, don't try to sell the product. Just share why you love what you've used. Share your experience. And right then it clicked for me. I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to be the expert. All I have to do is share my story and allow my experience to speak to the people who need to hear my story, right? Because that is who will be inspired to be connected. So allow your experience to be the expert. And part 2 is take ownership now. You guys, tomorrow is sexy. Tomorrow is when we're going to start our new meal plan, right? Tomorrow is when we're going to start sending out invites. Tomorrow is when we're going to get serious about coaching. It's sexy. You get to be imaginative. You get to let your imagination run wild. And Olivia and I are all about creating future goals and creating vision. But what are you doing today to move forward to get to tomorrow? What seeds are you sowing today? For example, we actually just went through an exercise where we learned how to create dream books. And as cheesy as this may sound, as woo-woo as this may sound, there's so much power in writing down your dreams, you guys. And so for me, I've created a 5-year plan. And for each of my goals that I have a book and I write down my goal. I have a visual of that goal. I set a date for that goal, plans to achieve the goal, notes section there, scripture, because Jesus is my jam. But the thing I really want to talk to you about right now in regards to this is seed sown toward this goal. So this is a 5-year goal that I've set for myself, but I'm sowing seeds today because I know that I can't rely on tomorrow. I have to think about if I want to change my life, if I want to change my job, if I want to change relationships, what seeds am I sowing? What skin am I putting in the game today? So think about that. And we encourage you, start taking ownership today. And it may not be some aha moment, but I promise you that the daily deposits that you put towards the things that you want in the future add up. If Olivia and I came to your house and we stayed with you 24 hours, just 24 hours, we would be able to tell if you're going to be successful or not. And we actually heard that while we were at the same place we learned about the dream book. It's something that John C. Maxwell talks about. He says, if I could spend with you 24 hours, then I would know if you're going to be successful. So what seeds are you sowing today? So that's part 2. Allow your experience to be the expert and take ownership now.
Amen. And number 3, mindset hack. A new success habit that I want you to put into your daily routine that we encourage everyone to. We've seen such incredible success when we've done this and when our clients have done it as well. And by the way, if I'm like pink and orange, it's because I have a pink Himalayan salt lamp. It looks really weird. But anyway, number 3, journal without an agenda. Journal without an agenda. Make that part of your daily routine, your daily habits. There is something so powerful when we sit down and put a pen to paper, not on your Google Docs, not on your iPhone, pen to paper, old-fashioned way till your hand is cramped and you can't get it out of that position, writing whatever is going on inside of here. So often we're so wrapped up in the next goal or the next thing or what someone told us we should do or what someone said is going to make us successful or watching another training video and learning a new business practice and learning a new morning routine and whatever it might be, that we forget to take time to think about what's going on inside of us already. The years of experience and trainings and resources and truth that's been spoken into you, that's all going on in here. The feelings that are happening. We're always running from the next thing to the next thing. We're busy. And we've decided to glorify that as a society, that busy is sexy. Busy is the cool thing. Hustle till you can't do it anymore. Hustle till you're puking. Like, that's really sexy. That's cool. And we're going from the next thing, and the kids and the spouse and the business and the part-time job, the full-time job, the PTA, the Bible study, whatever it might be. You've got all these things on your plate and you never take time to just sit down, create space for yourself, honor whatever you're feeling and go through that. It's like pushing a beach ball down, right? Every time you're having these feelings, you just keep suppressing. And I'll think about that later. I'll decide that later. I'll go through that later. I don't have time right now. And you're pushing it down. And eventually someone's going to tap you on the shoulder. One of your kids is going to grab your elbow or the skin under here. My mom always hated that. She's like, don't grab the skin under my arm. And you push it down like this beach ball and it explodes. That one little tiny minuscule moment explodes everything that you've been suppressing and feeling forever that you haven't addressed yet. We are so passionate, you guys. You cannot have the rock star business that you dream of and that you deserve until your soul and your mind is right. And that takes addressing whatever's going on. And I promise you that because we've gone through it as well, 100 times over. The first thing we do every morning is we sit down and we journal. No agenda. Just start writing. Whatever is going on, allow yourself, set a timer, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you have, maybe before the kids are up or after the kids go to bed or maybe at lunchtime when everyone's doing something and everyone's occupied. Just allow yourself to be and to feel. For me, the first time I meditated, and this was actually a few weeks ago, it was weird. I sat down and I allowed myself to be, and I never allow myself to get still because I'm a go person. Like if I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm failing in some way. And that's my own thing that I'm dealing with because that's not true. But I started to meditate and I literally started to cry. And I had no idea why. I'm like, what is going on? So what did I do? I took a pen to paper and I just started writing. And I was trying to figure out where that was coming from so that I could address it. I could thank it for what it's done for me. And then I could release it and I could move forward and open that space for whatever's next. So allow yourself to sit down and just journal and just write and just let it come out. Set the space, set the atmosphere. For me, I have to have I like a candle, my warm tobacco pipe, like I told you guys before the call, my pink Himalayan salt lamp, maybe it's oils for you, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be super woo-woo. If journaling and meditating to you is praying, that's totally cool too. There is no right or wrong. It's your time to just be, not working out, not planning your next meal, just being and just focusing on whatever's going on in here. You might find stuff that's from childhood, stuff that you're still holding on to. Maybe it's something that someone said that's still lingering, that's still holding you back. And when you start to address these things and you work through them with a success partner, with a coach, with your spouse, whoever it might be, the freeness you're going to feel, the lightness that you're going to feel like airy walking around, like just being so hopeful and so joyful of whatever's next because you've created space. You've honored what you're feeling. There's nothing wrong with it. So often we have clients cry and we're like, no, it's okay. Like keep going because they start to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry for that. Whatever you're feeling is okay. It's okay to feel. It's okay to be emotional. I used to think of my emotions as a limiting belief, as that's a bad thing about me because I was always told to toughen up, be tougher. Don't cry. You're the strong one. And I had this weird thing where I would think like I can't cry. But when I allowed myself to start feeling, and that comes from journaling, I mean, honestly, that came from journaling for me. And I allowed myself to feel, and I said, it's okay to feel this. I was able to then release it because you can't let go of something until you learn to love it, or it's going to keep showing up back into your life. So journaling without an agenda, or you can use a prompt. We're actually creating a project right now. We actually sent in the proofs for that today, which we're super excited about when we did our first edits. But maybe one of our favorites that you guys could use is, how's my soul? How is my soul? That's the first question we start with anybody that we work with, because it's the question that literally kind of effed up our lives a little bit. And we asked ourselves that because it started to let us address what was going on. And that was a scary thing. It's sometimes scary to write it down because then you have to face it. You're admitting it out loud, right? Out loud on paper. And it's scary because then you have to do something about it, or else you know what's holding you back. So allow yourself to write. Ask yourself, how is my soul? Not how am I feeling, not what do I have to do next, not how's my meal plan, but how's my soul at that inner level that maybe you haven't even admitted to yourself yet or admitted to anybody, and just start to write and just see what's able to come from that. That is one of our favorite mindset tips. And if you're ever in one of our courses, every single student is like, dang, these guys ask the tough questions and they expect an answer, because we're going to push you to do these things, to journal, to identify your limiting beliefs, to be the expert, to take the ownership, to define success for you, because you deserve it. You are so crazy capable of everything that you want. You're worthy of it, and you can have it. We just have to work through the soul stuff in order to get you to that next spot. So that's number 3.
One little tip about journaling that I'll share with you guys, because when I first thought of the concept, I was like, way too woo-woo-y. I don't even have 2 seconds. My kid's pulling on my leg. Chicken's burning in the oven, right? I don't have time to sit down and journal. But this is what I want to give you, a little baby mini challenge. All I want you to do for the next 7 days is I want you to take 5 minutes to journal, to ask yourself, how's my soul? 7 days, 5 minutes. You hate it after that, throw it out the window. Don't ever do it again, right? But I had a client who, she said, oh, Crystal, I'll never do it. I'll just never do it. And I said, all right, let's just start with 7 days for 5 minutes. She did it. That was like almost 2 months ago. She still does it every day. She's worked up to like 25 or 30 minutes a day now. And it has brought and uncovered things in her life that were true obstacles that she just had no clue was even there. So we want to encourage you guys with that. And also, if you are not currently a part of our free female soulpreneurs group over there, I think Olivia is going to put the link here in the chat box. Please hop on over there. We do lots of exercises just like this, add tidbits and tricks and goodies over there in that free group. We'll also, that journal that Olivia was talking, I just spilled the beans. Well, there may be a journal that is going to be published, and we'll have that over in that group for you guys to take a peek at as well. And just want to tell you guys, whatever you're feeling after this call, create a safe space among your team to talk about it and to move forward and hold each other accountable. That has been so vital for Olivia and I. We always say, if your coach doesn't have a coach, get a new coach. So the things that we share, we do them. We have coaches ourselves. And we just want to tell you that, like she said, you're capable. You're capable of taking that redefinition of success and really going after those things. If you get over into that free group and you feel like, man, I need some more accountability, we always have things that we're sharing in there. And we have a super special project. We've been working on it for 6 months. That's going to release in May, and we're talking about it over there as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think Olivia has one more exercise we're going to ask you guys to go through.
I do. And you guys, here's the thing too. Like if something spoke to you tonight, that's awesome. But if we're not your jam, I just want you to know, like, that's okay. We're not here to be like, you need to go join this group and be part of this. If that's not your thing, no worries. Find someone. I know for me, the biggest thing that happened is when I started to seek counsel and I started to seek guidance from other people, and just in such a powerful way. It was how I would feel like I was able to finally start to figure out who I was, because it was a safe place that was created for me to just start talking about what was going on inside of me. And that can be whoever, you know, in your gut, who you feel called to be with. And if it's not us, please know there are no hard feelings. We're just here sharing our hearts tonight about stuff we're so passionate about. And we have so many resources. If you're like, I want to deal with this, we'll tell you how to deal with that in some way that we feel like we've done before. So I just want to give that disclaimer because I don't want you guys to feel pressure in any sort of way. So this is like probably our favorite one. We have a lot of favorite exercises that we're going to put you through, a lot that we do in our free group too. But let's start with this one because this is one of our favorites. So I want you to clear space for yourself right now. Put your pen down, put your paper down, do what you got to do. Turn your phone on silent. If the kids are running around screaming, try to like get in total Zen place. Just like calm your mind, calm things. Maybe uncross your legs, sit up a little bit straighter, just be. Put your hands down, release any tension that's going on anywhere, and take a few deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and close your eyes. I promise I'm doing it with you. I'm not watching. I'm doing it with you. And allow yourself to just be. Breathe in through your nose, hold at the top, and release out through your mouth. One more time. Breathe in through your nose, hold at the top, and exhale out of your mouth. Let it all out. Let any tension that's going on just release itself. Let yourself just be present in this moment. I promise that it's quick. But as your eyes are closed, I want to ask you to go back to a time in your life that was one of the hardest times you have ever been through. Maybe it was 5 days ago. Maybe it was a year ago, 10 years ago. Maybe it was from childhood. A time in your life that was so hard emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever it was for you. This time that truly, when you go back to it, it maybe hurts a little bit. Maybe you haven't worked through this yet, but a time that you honestly weren't sure if you were going to make it out on the other side. If it was a season of your life, a tragedy, an experience, something that happened, something that someone said to you that hurt so deep down in your core, you're like, gosh, I just don't know if I'm going to make it through this. And I want you to think about what you were wearing in that moment, the feelings that you felt, the way that it smelled, the people that you were with. Imagine that you were back in that moment and feel it for a second. What is going on in that moment? The smells, the scene, the people. And I want you to just be there. And then I want to tell you 3 words as you were in that space. You made it. And I want you to open your eyes. And I want to tell you that you made it. 3 words. You made it through something that seemed so impossible, something that seemed so difficult, so stuck. You were in this moment and you weren't sure if you were even going to make it out. You had no idea how that was going to happen, but you made it. You are here today, stronger than you were then. You are a victor. You are someone that freaking did it. And what the powerful thing about that is, the reason we have you go through that exercise is to know that you've done it before. You've made it through something that was so hard, and you're now out on this other side, and knowing that you did that means you can do it again. There will be obstacles in your life. There will be bumps in your journey. There will be moments that you question everything. There's going to be moments you want to throw in the towel. There's going to be things that happen that you're wondering, why me? But the beautiful thing, the powerful thing is you've made it through it before. You can wake up every day saying, I made it, which means that I can do it again. I proved it to myself then, and I will prove it to myself again that I am strong, I am capable, I am worthy of my desires, and I can freaking make this happen. So that is one of our favorites. It's one of our favorite mantras. I made it. Say that to yourself every single day and let that fire you up, knowing that no matter what, you can have whatever it is that's going on inside of you. Anything that your heart desires, you guys, your passion, the potential, the purpose, the calling that's inside on a soul level, those things that you feel like you want to be doing, but you're not even sure how to make it happen, or the parts of your business that light you up, but you've been ignoring them. Those are there for a reason. That is where you're supposed to be. That's where you were created to be. Allow yourself to go through the obstacles that it's going to take to be there, to be able to step into your version of success saying, I freaking did it. Because you've made it through something so challenging and you've proven to yourself that you can do it again. So thank you for allowing us to share that one with you guys tonight.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I think we have some time for some questions. If anyone has a question or feedback or maybe a takeaway, we would love to answer anything that you have. And Olivia and I are total open books, so you cannot ask us a question that's too personal or too transparent because we are open.
Everyone's
I'll
tired.
talk,
Late.
believe that or not. I always talk on our calls. It's fine.
I love it.
I have a lot to say. Well, I absolutely just love that last exercise. That was fantastic. It's fine. I started crying. It's no big deal. But that was just so nice. Like, you're right. It's just one of those things. Like, I can completely agree with you, Olivia, when you say, like, your life is, you just feel like you have to run. You have to work out. You have to meal plan. You have to do all this stuff. But sometimes you just have to like stop and you just have to breathe.
Yes.
But I just wanted to tell everybody too, I do journaling because I went through a few tragedies in my life where I lost my parents, and when I went to counseling, that's one thing they suggested. They said, go journal, just write it out. And I remember that first year I had a journal notebook, and I just opened it up and I would just write in big letters. I would write words that made no sense, but I would write exclamation marks and sad faces. And I remember I went and looked back, and none of it made sense when I went back and looked at it. But at that time, getting all that frustration, anger, sadness out changed my life. Like, it got all of that hurt on paper, and I didn't have to deal with it anymore. Like, that's where it was at. Yeah. So I would 110% back you on journaling. It's amazing, and it will change your life.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, guys. I absolutely love this call. This is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited, too. I was actually looking at your Facebook today, and I was like, what is she doing over there? I was like, because I know that you were at the Kansas City Beachbody event.
Yep.
And so I was like, I haven't seen her lately there or anything like that. And so then when I seen her on our call, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to see what she's doing now.
Thank you so much. I know, I'm glad you said that. I'm always wondering, like, because I wrote about what happened, like the transition that we made. And I'm always like, I wonder if people like just think I like disappeared or like jumped ship or like ran away or something. But I'm like, I'm still here. I still love the company. I'm just serving in a different way. So thank you so much. I knew you looked familiar. I was like, I know this girl. What's going on? That's awesome. Yes.
I'm excited to join your guys' free group. I'm really looking forward to that. So thank you for jumping on our call.
Thank you for sharing.
And I just have to piggyback off of what Montana said is, ladies, their free group is amazing.
Thank you so much, Sierra.
Like, you guys are definitely a breath of fresh air because you've been in the business. You know what it's like. So it's nice to have somebody who's been what we've been through and experienced the things. And now it's like you ladies are fixing it. You're fixing the things, the barriers that we all have faced. So it is definitely.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that was a huge part of our calling. Olivia and I actually tried to ignore this for quite some time. We both were feeling tugs and whispers that was a platform that we needed to step into, and a space that we really needed to help people heal or to move forward in their dreams and their desires with their company. But we tried to ignore it. We were like, no, God, we think you got the wrong people. You're not really telling us to do that. But it just got too loud to ignore, and we wanted to be able to create a safe space to help female entrepreneurs who were stuck in soul exhaustion to say, hey, we understand what that feels like and your feelings are valid, but let's get solution oriented and discover how to move past that instead of just saying, read more PD, read more PD. Olivia and I are PD queens. Like, we love personal development, but we saw that there was this real need for people to do the soul work before they were going to be able to move forward in their business. And if they didn't address that at the core, then there was no way that they were going to be able to move past that exhaustion or those obstacles that you see, right? Because it was almost like putting a Band-Aid on something, but not addressing the root cause. And so thank you for that. We really appreciate it because that's exactly what we've been hoping to create. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's just so fun too getting to share, because I remember sharing on your call and we've connected way back when, and that was so fun, and having that relationship continue and being able to be like, hey, let's do this again. It's been super fun. Awesome.
So does anybody else have any questions or comments or anything? If not, before everybody jumps off, I'm totally going to throw Christy under the bus on this one. Girlfriend, you have such an eloquent way of praying. Will you close us in prayer? Because I don't pray in public.
I don't. No, Sierra, I'm the same way. So my upline, Jess Pasola, right, when I was in Beachbody, would pray after every call, and I cannot pray in public. I can't do it. It's like a gift.
Because my way of talking to God is like, "What's up, homie? What's that?" I'm like, I can't do that in public. People are going to think I'm being disrespectful, but that's how we work. So
I love it.
But Christy is amazing at it.
Aw, you're sweet. I sound really manly right now. I'm really sick still, so you're gonna get my manly voice praying, but okay. Lord, I thank you so much for tonight, and I thank you for just bringing each and every one of us to this time together. I pray for those that are here right now, those that are going to be able to listen back to this another time. I just thank you for wisdom and for whatever pieces of this that stood out and spoke specifically to each and every one of us, that we would take those little movements within our hearts and in our souls and actually implement, apply, continue to grow and move, rather than just sit and listen to things like this that stir our hearts and stir our souls. So please, Lord, just help us to take these things and continue growing forward. Bless the rest of our evening and bless the rest of our time until we meet again. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Love that. Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us tonight. And thank you, everybody, for hopping on also.
Definitely. This was an awesome crowd, and it's late, and you guys are like kicking, and I love that. No one fell asleep.
Christy works out at like 1 a.m. so she'll be up.
She does.
Like
1 a.m. 1 a.m.
Why 1 a.m.?
Seriously.
I'm pregnant. Insomnia, I call that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always tell her, I always look at her Snapchats and I'm like, girl, you were up at like 2 a.m. working out. Like, I'm going to bed at like 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I need some of that energy. Something.
I know. Yeah, if you could learn how to bottle that up and sell it, we'll all buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, if you guys do choose to pop over to that free group and you have any like thoughts or questions, please feel free to just ask them in there, or share. Olivia and I love interaction. We love, if you're looking for a resource for something, we'd love to share with you maybe a personal development that we picked up or whatever it may be. We just want to be able to serve you guys. So we hope to see you over there. And thank you again for having us on tonight. It was a true honor.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.